Welcome back. My name is Dana, and on this channel we're all about SMS beauty, which is skincare, makeup, sunscreen. And today we have a very new product. I wish they had released this when they released all the others, but this is the Shiseido oil-free mineral hyaluronic acid sunscreen. So if you've not already watched my other video on the new Shiseido sunscreens, I will link it right here. But I do have them both with me. This is the oil-free hyaluronic acid broad spectrum. This is basically a hybrid. And then this one is the fresh moisture hyaluronic acid. So obviously hyaluronic acid is kind of throughout, and they all have pretty much the same packaging. But the difference is this is 100% chemical or organic. And then these look so similar. This one is a hybrid, which means it has both organic and inorganic or mineral and chemical filters. And then the one I'm reviewing today is the 100% mineral or inorganic filter sunscreen. So I hope that makes sense. They're kind of on the spectrum. And each one kind of fits a different purpose in people's lives. Personally, I do like both of the other two more. I'll just tell you that right off the bat. I love the chemical one. This one is a nice dewy, like glowy, very easy, no white casty sunscreen. Just goes on like a dream. And then the hybrid one is actually one of my favorite hybrid sunscreens. I don't always get along with hybrid sunscreens. They're just not my cup of tea, and I mentioned that in the video. So if you want to go watch more about that, go check that one out. And then we come to the mineral sunscreen. And I like mineral sunscreens. I have nothing against them. I just don't like ones that have a white cast, right? Like, it just makes my process getting ready a lot more difficult because I have to put something over it. I do have like light medium skin. It would be more medium tan, well not tan, but medium if I didn't wear sunscreen on my face, because I do have like a kind of Mediterranean olive complexion. So that's a little bit about my skin type and understanding where I'm coming from when I'm reviewing this. I also have, my skin changes. So my skin is very dependent on the weather, and where I live is hot and humid and it's the summertime. So for me, it has to have some dry down. I do love a dewy look, but if it's slipping and sliding around, that's not for me in the summer. So I do tend to go more toward like the matte or like satin matte finish in the summer. And then in the winter, I can wear something a lot more dewy like this, the chemical one. So I hope that helps you. And let's go ahead and get into reviewing this product. Okay, so this retails for $38. It's the same size as the others. I do believe some of the other ones, especially like the blue one that I love, that comes in a larger size, 50 milliliters, but this one is 30 milliliters or 1 fluid ounce, and it is SPF 42. So that is a very nice high protection, and I do love to see that. And honestly, $38 for a luxury prestige brand, it's not terrible. And I have a list of all the other, like my favorite mineral ones. So I'm gonna go over those if this is not the sunscreen for you. But I'm gonna go ahead first and apply it to my face, and then I'll talk through some of the other claims. And as I always do, especially on my first application, I always use 1/4 teaspoon for my neck and face. So I would always recommend when you start using a new sunscreen, kind of go with this first, and then you'll kind of have an understanding of how much to use. You can also use the 2 or 3 finger length method, but for this one, I guarantee you 2 finger lengths is not gonna be the same as this because it is so fluid. So this might be the best way to apply it. Also, if you notice my eye is like red right there, it's because I used the Drunk Elephant Baby Sukari, whatever that's called, the facial, last night, and I got too close to the sun or my eye. And you guys, I've gotten distracted. I normally do the kind of like very thin, small layers method. So I will go back and do that now. Let's zoom in. Okay, Am I Casper? Yes. Does it look as bad in person as it looks on camera? Also yes. Oh wait, and I'm not even done. Let's use this on my neck. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna go wash my hands, let this sit for about 5 minutes, and then I'll be back. Okay, we're back. Now, let's start with the specs of it. So this is in very small writing because apparently I'm like ancient now. This is 4.9% titanium dioxide and 13.6% zinc oxide. So again, 100% mineral sunscreen. I do love those percentages. I think you're gonna be getting great protection. And it is oil free. That's one of the things I was gonna mention as like the big plus for me. My face doesn't feel greasy. You know, it has like a little bit of a shine, but I did have a moisturizer on underneath. And I think overall, it just feels nice in terms of being able to layer things on top and not feeling like I can't go outside when it's like 95% humidity today. So I love that about it. And then when I also washed off my hands, and I've noticed this before, it has like a residue, so I can't just rinse it off with water. That sometimes with mineral sunscreens, I do find that they just rinse off. So like if I sweat, it just comes off with my sweat. But this one does have, I think a lot of the Shiseido ones have like this wet force technology. It didn't say that it had it in this one, but I'm wondering if there's something to do with that because it is kind of like you need a cleanser to get it off. So I do like to see that, especially like I said with a mineral sunscreen. Now, obviously, like the elephant in the room, or the ghost in the room, if you will, is that it has a pretty noticeable cast. And the cast doesn't really go away. Like if I mean, especially around the edges, I can kind of work it in a little. And if I sat here and rubbed it, it would go away a bit. But also that kind of, you know, I don't love that because I think sometimes you can kind of degrade the layer of protection that you have if you rub too much. Now, of course, rubbing within like reason is okay because you have to get it on your face. But if you sit there just rubbing, you know, maybe not the best idea. So that's one thing. It definitely has a cast, especially like in my eyebrows, around the edges of my face. But it is a very nice layer to put on underneath like makeup. This is the type of sunscreen, if I knew I was gonna be outside and I wanted like a mineral sunscreen with a higher protection, this is one good option because it does, like I said, it has that kind of ability to kind of stick to your face more so than a lot of other mineral sunscreens. Let's take a look at the Sephora website and read what they say about it because I always like to see what they say and then what I'm seeing. They say that it's a lightweight daily oil-free sunscreen lotion. Wow, that's a lot of words. So I 100% agree that it's lightweight. It's a liquid, like very fluid nature to it, which is, I've talked about this many times. I love that for mineral sunscreens. I don't really go for sunscreens that are mineral and like this heavy chalky lotion that just doesn't do well with me and my skin type. I do like to see a liquid version. I think it just works better for more skin tones. So I'm okay with that. They say that it protects against harmful UV rays, hydrates skin, and doubles as a face primer. So that is one thing I would definitely recommend or kind of like commend this sunscreen for. I do think it's probably one of your better options for under makeup. Because of the oil-free nature, it doesn't feel greasy. It's not slipping and sliding. It does have a little bit of tack to it, but not anything terrible. It actually has more of like a powdery finish feel. And I think makeup, well, not I think, I know because I used this the other day, makeup goes on just beautifully over it. So that's a really great plus to it. They also have hyaluronic acid, which again, all of these, that's in the name, that's what they want you to, like, that's one of the hero ingredients for it. And then spirulina energy essence, which converts sunlight to target factors that lead to dryness. So a lot of mineral sunscreens can tend to dry your skin out just because of the nature of the ingredients, zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. They can be quite drying. I haven't used this like for months and months on end, which is really what you need to do to know if it dries your skin out. Also in the summertime, I don't think anything is gonna dry my skin out right now. So if I use this like over a course of like 3 months in the winter, only this, I think I would get a better sense of if it's actually drying my skin out. But I think with the ingredient list, you're probably not gonna see that in this one as much as you might in others. But for the first time, your skin is very different than mine. So what I say for me works, it might not work for you. Oh, there's so many, like, I swear every paragraph is different here, but they do say that it has a soft matte finish, which I would agree with again. I think the big thing is, are you willing to have a white cast? Are you going to be wearing this alone? If so, you either have to have a very light skin tone or be okay with this. But if you're gonna wear it under makeup, this is a really, really great option. And I'm looking at my other options, which I'm gonna talk about in a second. And I actually think that this would be one of the better ones if you do have more like normal to oily skin and you do want a matter look, because not all mineral sunscreens give you this kind of finish, which is the perfect base for makeup. Okay, so those are kind of my thoughts on this. I don't hate it. There's so many other sunscreens that I'm just like, I can't figure out a way to put it in my system. This one, I can figure out a way. It's a very particular way, but it does fit, and it might fit for you. You just have to know what you want. But I think if you kind of like think of these three, this one I think is gonna work for the most amount of people unless you have very oily skin, and I mentioned that in the other video. It's just the easiest. It's a chemical sunscreen. It has no white cast at all. And then we have these two. If you are somebody who likes a mineral sunscreen and you're okay with having like a hybrid one, like this one, this is a very good hybrid option. It does have a little bit of a cast on certain skin tones, but it's not terrible. And then this one is your 100% mineral. And I would say that it's really, at least for me, going to be that like primer sunscreen under makeup. I'm not gonna ever wear this alone. I can just tell you that much. But I think each one kind of serves a different purpose. I would love to see a few other options, but I think so far these are really great. And then of course, including the blue packaging one, which is my favorite sport sunscreen. But let's get into some alternatives, because I did want to offer you some alternatives, because this is not the only mineral sunscreen out there, of course. So in the price range that is Shiseido. So this one is $38. I have my little list over here. The ones that are the closest in price are the following. We have the Summer Fridays. This is $36, which is a few dollars less. This is the Saie. This is their new one. I'm going to be reviewing it soon. This is $37, so pretty much comparable. And then we also have the Naked Sundays. This is their mineral one. This is $35. This one has a little, and I'm trying to get ones that have a little tint but aren't like tinted. You know, like they just kind of blend into your skin. And I would say both of these have a bit of a tint. This one even less so than this one, but kind of can be invisible on a lot of skin tones. And then same with the Naked Sundays. It looks more tinted than it actually revs out to be, but this is a good option for the more like matte look. The Summer Fridays is also more matte. I love that. The Saie is gonna give you dewy, glowy skin. And then of course you guys know I love the Live Tinted. This one, I don't think it has necessarily like a dewy or matte look. It depends on your skin type and also what you're wearing underneath. This one is $32, so I think this is the cheapest, or almost, of the bunch. This one is actually the cheapest. This is the COTS Face Moisture Lightly Tinted. This one is $32.50, and this one will give you an absolutely 100% matte look, and it is pretty, I could almost say without a doubt, like 100% invisible on most people. It is a little bit of a different tint. And then more expensive options, those 5 are pretty much the same price as the Shiseido one, giving you either the same amount or a little bit more. But then these two are the like high end. This is the Tatcha Silk Sunscreen. I love this one. You've hopefully seen that video on it. This is $60, so of course it's like double the price, but it's beautiful. The only thing is the packaging sucks. It's coming off, it's peeling, and they are repackaging it. So if you want to wait until it gets repackaged, it's coming out in the fall. And then the Murad Correct and Protect is also very expensive. This is the most expensive, $69, but is going to give you maybe even like I would say less of a cast than the Shiseido. So those are kind of my options if you want the Shiseido but maybe like are not willing to deal with the white cast. And I think a lot of them will work really well for different people. I always just advise you, I'm not going to be linking every single video below, but if you go to my channel, there's a search bar on every YouTube channel. You can put in like the Live Tinted and this video or videos with it will come up. So be sure to check that way if you want to learn more about these sunscreens, because I have a review on everything but the new Saie. I have a review on the old one, but the new one is coming soon. So I think that's it. Like, as you can see, as the video has gone on and I've had it on my face longer, the white cast is not the end of the world terrible. It's not like actually like white. it is there, but it kind of goes away. And that's why I say, like, this is a very good one for under makeup. I will definitely be using it under makeup, but I'm not going to be wearing it alone. And yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. I hope you understand the difference between all three. I'm not going to be refilming just for this one, but I did want to mention how they kind of differ in case you're wondering. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.